You had it figured out over there?
Yeah, this one's Velcro also. Actually, it's sort of Velcro, except the Velcro won't come apart. When you pull it,
Oh. It looks like a big stack of them. Yeah, right. I didn't know this about this. I don't know. You'll have to enlighten me later about that because I'm news to me. Okay. Oh, a preference. I thought it was like a thing. Huh. Okay. We're just all a little punchy from all the wine last night, you know.
You know, when you have the 2 days of Yom Tov, you go right into Shabbat, you get punchy.
We're a little punchy. I just said I'm a little punchy from last night. I was. Nobody has to tell me.
So good evening, Shabbat Shalom, and Moadim L'Simcha to everyone. We hope that you had a wonderful start to your Pesach, surrounded by people you love. And I heard wonderful things about the community Seder that the cantor led last night, and that it was a great deal of fun. People had a wonderful time. So we are very strong in spirit in this room, even if we are not overflowing with, you know, that's happened. I was just saying that when you go through 2 days of Seders and then you go right into Shabbat, people are a little bit exhausted. So we're going to create lots of good energy with the music here with these amazing musicians who are here with us. And many of you know that during a Shabbat that takes place in the period during a festival, we don't actually do Kabbalat Shabbat. And the reason is because there's so much joy in the festival itself. The rabbis didn't think we needed most of Kabbalat Shabbat to get to that place because we are so filled with the joy of the festival. So I think we're going to hear a Passover melody before we go to the Psalm for Shabbat, B'chol Dor Vador, the phrase from the Haggadah that reminds us that we are to remember what it was like to have been redeemed from Egypt. So you may not have the words on the page for this, but hopefully many of you will be able to sing along with the cantor from your memory of these very beautiful words from our Haggadah. I want to invite you to turn with us now to page 28, the middle of the page. We are going to sing the last several verses of the Psalm for Shabbat with the word Sadiq Tamar. The righteous will flourish like a palm tree, like a cedar in Lebanon. Page 28.
Tzaddik Adar Yifrach Kerez Ebal Vadol V'yisega Shetolim Beveit Adonai Bechatzrot Eloheinu Yafriku Odinun Beseva Deshenim Veranadim Lehagid Ki Ashar Adonai Tzuri Velo
I want to invite anyone who is in the room or any of you who may be watching on the live stream who are in the process of mourning or observing a yard site to rise as we turn to page 30 and continue with the Mourner's Kaddish. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'yalma divrach Yirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael v'agala u'vizman kariv v'yimru. Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam olmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitalev v'yitalal Shemei dekudesha barichu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush bechata v'nechemata. Damiran b'yalma v'yimru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabbah min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen. So since we had such an abbreviated Kabbalat Shabbat, I want to give a very short drash that begins with one of my favorite Passover stories. And it is a story that you might have heard me say before. So there's the story about Chaim, who is very close friends with the monarch of a small kingdom. And this king trusts Chaim so deeply that he appoints him to be the royal treasurer over the kingdom. Now, the other advisors in the king's court, however, are extremely resentful that the king has given Chaim, who is a Jew, such an important position. And they go to the king and they say, listen, this is just not okay. You have to tell him that unless he converts to Christianity, he should not stay the treasurer of this kingdom. And so the king, being someone who is not one with a great spine, decides to go to Chaim and say, listen, it's nothing about how I feel about you, but the other members of my court really don't feel comfortable with you having this position if you're Jewish. Are you willing to convert? So Chaim thinks about it and he says, well, I guess I will. And so his conscience, after a period of months, is tormenting him. And finally, he goes back into the throne room of the palace and he says, you know, King, I've been feeling just so torn up about this for the last few months. And I am a Jew, and I really can't be anything other than a Jew. So if it means I can't be your treasurer, that's okay. But I am not going to convert to Christianity after all. And so the king says to him, I'm so moved by your passion for your faith. And he says, if that's what Judaism means to you, you may return to your faith immediately. So Chaim rushes home to tell his wife, Sprinza, the good news. And she looks at him and she says, you idiot! Couldn't you have waited until after Pesach? So if any of you take getting ready for Passover seriously, you can understand how Sprinza feels. It's an exhausting holiday to prepare for. If you take it seriously, there's a lot of cleaning. There is a lot of getting rid of chametz. It's a lot of scrubbing. It's a lot to get ready. Cooking food for a people, if you're having people to your home, preparing how to have a meaningful Seder, changing our house from top to bottom. It's a lot. It's a lot. But there's a very profound truth that I think is at the heart of all this physical activity. And the truth is that if we don't do something physical and put something that requires actually exertion, that we're very unlikely to be able to get to spiritual change if we're not people who are first willing to do actions that create change. And Sfat Emet, who was a 19th century Hasidic master, taught a very important truth about this. He says we all contain some sense of a nikudat Elohut. We contain a small part of the divine that is found within each and every one of us. And that spark is eternal. But we, over the course of time, get to be like the matzah at the beginning of the Seder. We say halach ma'anya. This is the bread of affliction. And the Sfat Emet says that doesn't only refer to the physical matzah that was the harsh food that our ancestors ate when they were enslaved. It says, Sfat Emet says that tight, harsh place is what happens to our soul over time. That it gets to a place of constriction, and it gets crushed, and it becomes kind of lifeless and flat and dry, like matzah. And so the Sfat Emet says the goal of what we're here to do during Pesach is to take that little point of the divine, that nikudat Elohut that's inside each of us in the depths of our souls, and to create the conditions in which it can actually once again become alive and enlivened within us. And so we do this by not only telling the story during our Seders, but we do this through the very physicality of what it means to get ready for Seder. Says the Sfat Emet, it's only through the doing of the actions that we create the possibility that those spiritual places within us can find life. And that's why those people who take their religious life seriously talk about spirituality as a practice. It's not something that happens in a fleeting moment. It's something that happens through regular commitment to prayer, to language, to community, and it doesn't happen casually. So now that the cleaning for most of us of this holiday is behind us, may we also have that spiritual enlivening that the Sfat Emet teaches us is the true goal of Pesach, that we should feel that spark of the divine within us, and that it should feel enlivened and animating our lives as a result of our having left Egypt. Shabbat Shalom. So for those of you who are not regulars at Friday night services, we have a relative. Marion, do you want to tell us who's here? I'm going to give you a mic. Here.
Okay, is it on now? Okay. We were saying we're a little punchy. A lot of us played for the service last night, and it was great. So my cousin Dan Schwartz is here, and we reconnected a long time ago, and then again recently. His grandmother and my great-grandmother were sisters.
Oh, nice.
And we say our blessings. I was blessed this week because Dan and his wife Susan invited both Randy and I to their home for first night Seder, and that was really nice. And then last night I was blessed to have second night Seder here. So, and welcome, Dan.
Welcome, Dan. Do you want to pass to Aaron?
I'm glad to be here playing. Was glad to be here last night for the Seder and playing for that. And my family's going to get together tomorrow.
Nice.
So
I want to just say I'm Rabbi David Glansberg Crane, and I feel blessed to have Deborah and I hosted two Sedarim. And for the first night, we had two of my brothers and their families, all of our kids and significant others. And I got to see that my daughter Eliana actually has a little belly that is visible, which is an amazing thing to see. So that was pretty exciting. And our second night Seder, we do a very different kind of second night Seder, which is we just take one piece of text and use Magid to just kind of have a very in-depth conversation about a text. So it was just two very different Seders, one really, really big, one much more intimate, but I feel very blessed to have family and people we love to have shared this beautiful holiday with.
My blessing from this week is that this was a pretty eventful week. We had the concert and then Passover and then Seders, and thankfully everything went well. So that's definitely a blessing.
Hi, I'm Tess, and I think the blessing of the week was a lot of music, besides last night and tonight, and Lisa and I preparing for our gig next weekend, so just a lot of music this week.
For me, the blessing is twofold. Having been part of Sally Crone's Seder with her family was absolutely wonderful. David and I had a great time. Food was really good, too. And to be here last night for second night, it was a blast.
I'm Carl. I would say that my wife, Shelley, our wondrous time yesterday with our 5 grandchildren, swimming in that joy. And the funny part of the evening, share with you, is I'm trying to have my grandchildren all be musicians. So Reese, who's the youngest, is 1.5 years, disappeared to the basement, and then we heard this yelling, thinking maybe Reese got hurt. No, Reese didn't want to come off the drum set to come back up to the Seder. So I'm very happy about that.
Hi, I'm Lisa. Glad to be here the last couple of days, nights, playing music. Yesterday was really lovely and had a wonderful time. It was a beautiful Seder, and I think the brisket should get its own blessing. It was really good.
I was already introduced as right. Thank you, Marianne. And it's a blessing to be here in this amazing building. I've been here a few times before, but not to this sanctuary chapel. So it's just a beautiful place to be. And my wife's great aunt, Renee Levin, of blessed memory, was a docent here and a member for many, many years. So thinking of her at this moment, too.
Hi, I'm Randy. I'm in control of the microphone. My blessing is just to be here. I love this congregation, and I love working with this. So.
My name is Josh, and my blessing for the week is that just this week, my 11-week-old daughter has now almost started sleeping for 5 straight hours at night. So,
I'm Shelley Hittinger, and my blessing was that we had 2 lovely Siddharim for the holidays.
I'm Devorah Grosky-Roberts, and my blessing is enjoying being at the Chabad house this morning.
I want to thank everyone for sharing blessings with us and hope that we will continue to have many, many more blessings through the rest of this festival of liberation and freedom. We are going to invite you to turn back to your prayer books as we invite those who are able to rise as we turn to page 39 for Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Amivorach.
Baruch Adonai Mevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Mevorach le'olam va'ed.
Please be seated. We continue Ma'ariv Aravim, page 39, privately.
Baruch Adonai. ומעביר היום ומביא לילה ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה אדוני צבאות השיבו אלוקי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב ערבים.
Amen. Continue with us, page 40, Ahavat Olam.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל המתת תורה ומצוות חוקים ומשפטים אותנו למדת
ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ויורך ימינו ויורך ימינו ובהם נהגה יומם ולילה יומם ולילה. ואהבתך תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל.
Amen.
שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך ושינתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידך. והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך.
Continuing privately, page 42.
למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Continuing now at the top of page 44 in your prayer book.
ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה ומרים ובני ישראל כנו שירה בשמחה רבה ויאמרו כולם. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, תורת תהילות פוסל. מלכותך רבו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה זני. אנו ויאמרו אדוני מלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב גלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גל ישראל.
Amen. Turn with us to page 45 as we ask God to bring peace to us, to the people of Israel and Jerusalem. Page 45, Hashkivenu.
Eloheinu l'shalom Yamineinu Malkeinu l'chaim Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom Yamineinu Malkeinu l'chaim Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom Yamineinu Malkeinu l'chaim Ushmor tzeideinu Uloheinu l'chaim l'shalom Emei Adam Adolam Ushmor tzeideinu Uloheinu l'chaim l'shalom Emei Adam Adolam Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom Yamineinu Malkeinu l'chaim Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom Yamineinu Malkeinu l'chaim Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom Yamineinu Malkeinu l'chaim Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom Yamineinu Malkeinu Baruch atah Adonai Apureh Sukkot Shalom Aleinu V'yavol Amo Yisrael V'yal Yerushalayim
Turn with us, if you will, to page 46 as we continue Vishamru.
Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ Shabbat nafesh u'vayom hasheni Shabbat nafesh.
Just a moment, we're going to continue with the Chatzi Kaddish on page 46. When we do the Amidah, if you are doing the traditional words of the Amidah, we do add the paragraph on page 50, the Ya'aleh V'Yavo paragraph for this Chol HaMoed Pesach that you'll find the second paragraph on page 50. At this time, we'll ask you to rise. Cantor leads us in the Chatzi Kaddish and then the Amidah, pages 47 through 52 privately.
יתקדש ויתקדש שמי רבה.
אמן.
בעלמא דברה קירותי ולק מלכותי. בחייכון וביום אחד ובחיי דכל בית ישראל. בעגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. ישמי רבה מבורך לעולם עולם מהוויה יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתואר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתענר ויתעלה ויתעלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה ויאמרו אמן.
Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu Ya'aleh v'Yavo Yavigel Zikaron Yisrael B'Yom Chag HaMatzot Hazeh Zachrenu Tekazenu Machazir Shechinato L'Tzion Modim Anachnu L'Achshata. Baruch Atah Adonai Hadav Shimcha. Those of you who are still davening, please continue. If you've concluded, please join with our chazan as we conclude the Amidah with the words of Oseh Shalom.
Shalom mivrovav, uyase shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'yimeru la 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 Shalom,
rise, we invite you to do so. We continue with the Kiddush on page 55 of your prayer book.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddesha mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodesho bi'ahava u'vratzon hinkianu זיכרונו למעשה וראשית כי הוא יום תקיעה למקרא קודש זכר לציאת מצרים כי באנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים ושבת קודשך פיאמה וברצון הנחלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת אמן.
L'chaim. So since we are now in the period between Pesach and Shavuot, it's our custom now at this point in the service to count the Omer. If you'll turn ahead with me to page 63 in your Siddur, we can say the bracha together at the bottom of the page, and then we can count tonight and tonight's night of the Omer on page 64, remembering that yesterday at our second Seder, we counted the first night of the Omer, so we'll know which one we're counting tonight. Join with me in the bracha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat ha'omer. Hayom shnei yamim la'omer. Today marks the second day in our 50 days of counting of the Omer. And we'll turn back now to page 56 as we remain standing for Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל העולם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שכבודו תשמענו ומשה נקרא ושכינתו זו ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני מלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו, ושמו, ושמו אחד. We invite any who are in the process of mourning or observing a yard site, those who may be watching on the live stream, those in the room, to join with me now in Mourner's Kaddish, page 58. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. V'yalma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael b'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach li'olam olmei almaya. Yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar, v'yitromam, v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar, v'yitalev, v'yithalal, shemei dekudesha barichu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush b'chata v'nechemata. Damiran b'alma v'yimru. Amen.
Amen.
Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen.
Amen.
We ask God who brings peace and comfort on high to bring peace and comfort to all who are remembering your loved ones. Please be seated. We want to again, as we always do, try to thank these amazing musicians who come and make beautiful music for us every Friday night. We want to thank Aaron and Mary Ann. We want to thank Tess and Kathy and Lisa and Carl and Randy for doing the sound, and the cantor, of course, for making that all happen and come together. Just a couple of, for the rest of Pesach, we will be here tomorrow for Shabbat Chol HaMoed at 9:30. Sunday, Zoom only, Chol HaMoed at 9 a.m. Monday and Tuesday, we are meeting in person at the community room at Breyer Estates for the 7:30 minyan in the morning. That'll also be available via Zoom. Erev 7th and 8th day services will be Zoom only at 7 p.m. We will have an 8 a.m. 7th day of Passover Yom Tov service in the Goodman Auditorium on Wednesday of this upcoming week, and then back in this room for the last day of Pesach when we do Yizkor at 8 a.m. also. That'll be Thursday morning of this upcoming week. We will also be a couple of congregational announcements. Mindful meditation will continue Mondays at 7:40, Wednesdays at 10 a.m. We will have a wonderful dinner here for Israel's 78th birthday, but you'll need to RSVP. And we hope that some of the people who were planning to be on the mission that had to be canceled will join us for that day. That's the 24th of April at 6 p.m. And please, if you haven't already RSVP'd to our annual gala, which will be taking place on Sunday, May 3rd, we hope we'll see you then. This wonderful game called Who Knows One will be part of the evening's entertainment. And we want to invite you to consider, if you're able, to consider being a sponsor of the event, which will help support the congregation, which has had some, unfortunately, unexpected expenses incurred due to the increased security that we need as a community since the war began. So that's Sunday, May 3rd. Anything else, Chazan, that you need me to mention before we conclude?
Nope, I think you got everything.
All right, so we're going to do a Sephardic Adir Hu, is that correct?
Yeah, actually, I think it's not Sephardic. I think it's Hasidic.
A Hasidic Adir Hu.
It sounds Sephardic, but then I realized it sounds more Hasidic.
So join with us. It's not in your prayer book, but many of you will certainly know the chorus of Adir Hu.
Adirehu, ishne veito bekarov, bimheira, beyaveinu bekarov, el banei, bnei veitka bekarov, el banei, bnei veitka bekarov. Bachur hu, gadol hu, dagul hu, ibnei veito bekarov, bimheira, beyaveinu bekarov, el banei, bnei veitka bekarov, el banei, bnei veitka bekarov. Hadur hu, vatiku, zakai hu, kasitu, bimnei veitka bekarov, bimheira, beyaveinu bekarov, el banei, bnei veitka bekarov, el banei, bnei veitka bekarov, נהור הוא יחיד הוא, כביר הוא לבון הוא, מלך הוא נורא הוא, שגיב הוא עזוז הוא, מודה הוא צדיק הוא, והנה ביתו בקרוב, במהרה במהרה בימינו בקרוב, אלמדי אלמדי בני ביתה בקרוב, אלמדי אלמדי בני ביתה בקרוב, קדוש הוא רב הוא שדי הוא צדיק הוא, הנה ביתה בקרוב, במהרה במהרה בימינו בקרוב, אלמדי אלמדי בני ביתה בקרוב, אלמדי אלמדי בני ביתה בקרוב.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
In case you haven't had enough matzah lately. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen.
Help yourselves.